All right, family, welcome to the channel. I'm Tasha, my bear prepping. Welcome back. If you are new, thank you for stopping by and seeing what we're about. We're going to get right into it. Normally, I have something to drink. I left it in the living room. I do not have it, my coffee. But get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. So, in the theme of food, keeping that whole thing going, I've done a video. This video I've done. Let me just move this over, you guys. I've done this video twice now, to some degree. The first time I did it, it was like literally like my second or third video ever. And then I talked again about it probably several months ago. Okay. Both those videos, obviously very low views. So there's going to be a majority of this, channel right now, of the subscribers right now that are watching, that have not heard me talk about the 3 ways that, I use and I tell people on ways to stockpile food and preps. Okay. So these are my 3 ways. These aren't some genius ways. This is just 3 things, 3 ways of stockpiling food that I've heard about from a long time ago. And then I'll also show you which one is my favorite, and then also some tips. Okay. So ways to stockpile food. This is a very popular question that I get all the time. People say, how can you stockpile food? I'm on a limited income. I don't make that much money. I don't understand how you can even stack food. I'm so confused because I don't know what to get. Do I do it by meals? Do I do it like, do I just go out and randomly just get food and start stacking it up? Like, how do I do it? And that's a valid question. You know, it's not the easiest. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not the easiest thing to do to just say, hey, go out and stockpile food. And you might have a little bit of extra money to do so. And even then, it's hard. You're just randomly shooting in the dark on what you want. So what I would like you to do is just be a little bit more methodical on what you're doing. So a couple things have to happen first, though, okay? If you're first starting out, or even let's say you started for a while, but now you're like going to be taking one of these on board, you need to get a grip on your pantry and where you're keeping your food. Meaning you need to organize it. You need to clean it. You need to organize it in a way that you understand as far as meals, meal ingredients, however you're going to do it, but you need to get that organized. And then inventory what you currently have on hand. You want to know that because then as you start doing one of these options, one of these ways of stockpiling food, you can easily see what you already have and then therefore only supplement what you need to get you to whatever the goal is, depending on what, which way you do it. Okay. So my first way is the step up goal way, right? This is the baby step way of figuring out, getting your stockpiles. So the very first step is getting 60 days worth of food. That is, however you want to do that, get your 60 days of food. Now, my other 2 ways might help you do that. So you can actually use these other 2 ways for a period of 60 days if you wanted to. So that's the beauty of this, is they kind of all intermingle and you can use pieces of them to help you build other pieces. But basically it's where you concentrate on, I need 60 days worth of food and water in my home. How do I get that? And you work on that. That's your goal. Okay. You take your menus, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, and you're getting 60 days. It's a goal. Okay. It's a step up goal. 60 days worth of food and water in my home. Good. Then you go to the next goal, which is 6 months. Then now, okay, I'm going to start working on getting 6 months worth of food. This is actually not that difficult, you guys, once you start doing this and getting a little bit of preps here and there. Okay. And I'm going to go through some tips, but this is actually not as difficult as it sounds. Okay. So step 2 is 6 months. Now these 2 steps together make up your working pantry. Okay. So step 1, step 2, first you're working on 60 days, then you're working on 6 months. Those make up your working pantry, meaning you're cooking from this pantry. This is your everyday pantry that you're rotating your cans through. Your working pantry, okay? Next step, third step is a year's worth of food, okay? A year plus, okay? Anything from a year plus is like step 3. You're graduating, you're working on that 6 months, but now you're on step 3. You've got the 6 months. You're working towards the goal of 1 year worth of food. Again, at this point, not super difficult. Depends on if you've implemented some of these other things I'm going to talk about, but you're working on your next step. And this is starting to turn into your long-term storage, your stuff that's a little bit longer, okay? The next step is the final step, which is your emergency food. I call it emergency food. I call it anything with over a year. I really try to separate this one from those first steps, because this is, to me, this is your emergency food. This is like your no shit. This is like your 25-year foods. This is, you put white rice or beans in a bucket in a miler with oxygen absorbers, and you put it away in a dark, cool place. And your intent is not to open that anytime soon. That is not part of your working pantry. That is long term, for real, emergency food. Is that next step, is that final step where you're putting that away. You're putting flour, sugar away for long term. You're putting liquor, you're putting honey, you're putting, your forever foods that ideally will last forever if you keep them right, okay? If you keep them right and they don't get compromised, there are foods that will literally last forever. These are those foods that you have put away in buckets or whatever, and you have put them away for to be used decades from now, okay? So once you've got, you're past the year and you're working on, your additional year and your additional year and stuff like that, because from a year on, all I work on is smaller goals. I work on, okay, let me get the next 6 months. Okay, let me get the next 6 months. Okay. But I'm at that point, I'm thinking about that long-term stuff. Okay. Because I have a extensive working pantry now. Okay. All right. That's the first way of stockpiling food, kind of a step up goal situation. You have a goal and you hit the goal, and then you step up to the next goal, and you keep doing it until before you know it, you've got food. Okay. Second way is my what I call a 2-week payday type menu planning plan. Okay. That's where you got paid. You're going to make a menu for 2 weeks, okay? With that paycheck, you're going to allocate your money for that, and then you're going to double it. And so quickly, hopefully, you're able to take a payday amount of money and stretch that from a 2-week menu to 4 weeks, or your best attempt at that. Because I know some people are like, Tasha, I barely have enough money to get the 2 weeks, let alone double it or whatever. So what I'm saying is, the way you do this is you do a cheaper menu. Okay. You really research cheap meals. Okay. Cheap meals, Great Depression meals, cheap meals. This is how you do this. This is how you start it. Okay. Cheap meals, do your menu planning, and then double it if you can. I'm talking cheap stuff like one night it's chili dogs. Okay. It's very easy to double, to be able to have that meal twice in the month, okay? So do 2 weeks of a menu, okay? Get a calendar out, write out your meals for 2 weeks, figure out how much that will cost, and then figure out if you can double that. Or do the best attempt at doubling it. If you can only double one other meal or 2 additional meals, then maybe that's all you can do, and then that's fine. But guess what? Now you have that additional meal or 2 meals put up, okay? So meal plan, cheap, very low ingredient amounts, right? Don't do these extravagant menus. And then obviously it's much easier to double, let's say, spaghetti or chili dogs than it is, steak and potato night or steak and, shrimp night. Okay. So be smart about your decisions. You should be scaling back and trying to be smart with your decisions anyway, because of inflation. Because baby, even if you make money, those dollars are hurting. That hurts me when I go to the store now. Like, I'm like, ugh, that's what I just paid for that. Like, it's heartbreaking. Okay. So, cheaper meals, plan it out, double it up for the month. If you can double it and you can actually make that work, you guys, and if you do it right and do it cheaper than what you're eating right now, it's possible then to, in that 2-week payday period, get yourself a month's worth of food. Okay. And then the following payday, you try to do it again. But if you can't, because I get it, some people can't do that, do the next one, right? Every other payday, do it again, do a new menu. All right. Keep it fresh with new food, and do it again and try to double it. Okay. Even if you're doubling a little bit, that's still extra food that you're putting in your pantry. This goal is just to get your mindset of an easy way for some people is, hey, I get a meal And then I just try to double that meal and put it in the pantry. If you don't do all your groceries in 2 weeks, then try not to do that. Just do whatever you normally do. Maybe you only buy a week's worth of groceries. Okay, plan out those meals and then try to double it, okay? If you're doing cheaper meals, it will be easier to double it, okay? All right, next one, which is my favorite one, you guys, is the 1-year stockpile plan. Basically what this is if you like lists, which I do, I think that you will appreciate this. You make a list of different things. So it's kind of like grid down sections, right? You have a hygiene list, you have a medical supply list, you have medicine list, you have food list of different, all your meals and the different ingredients that it takes for these meals, right? And then make a master food list off of that. And so you have your list. And then what you do is, you shoot for a year's worth of that item. So let's say this, I have a list of master food list and I have a hygiene list. And I've told myself, hey, this payday, I want to hit something on both these lists. Okay, spaghetti, I make it twice a year, let's just say, okay, twice a year, twice a month. Let's just say I make spaghetti twice a month. No, let's not even say that. Let's just say I make it once because there's only 30 days in a month. Okay, let's say I make spaghetti once a month for my family. It takes 1 jar of sauce for my family. Okay, I need 12 jars for the year. I look at my pantry. How many jars do I have right now? Okay, I have 6 jars in there right now. Okay, I need 6 more. I'm then going to put on my shopping list, I need 6 jars of spaghetti sauce. Once I go to the store, I get that done, my list, because basically my list, I'm going to write 2 numbers. I'm going to write how much do I need of that item for a year, how much do I have in inventory, how much do I still need, okay? I need 12 jars to get me through the year. At a minimum, I have 6, I need 6. And then I basically shop it with my tips, which is sales. So I'll do sales and then I'll hit the things on the list and then you check it off. Okay. Same thing, hygiene, body wash. Let's say I use a certain type of body wash. Let's just say it's a bottle a month or something. Same thing, 12 bottles. Maybe I only have 2 though in preps. You know what I'm saying? So now I need 10 more. But again, I'm waiting for sales. I'm waiting for double up packs, things like that to be able to stockpile that stuff. I'm not just going out and being like, I'm just going to go get 10 bottles of my favorite body wash. That's like $10 a piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wait till it's on sale, wait till I have coupons, wait till it's doubled up. Maybe even wait till Christmas when you have the double up packs that they have. Or maybe you wait and you go to Costco or you go to Sam's and they have double packs or triple packs or whatever it is. Okay. Maybe at that point you decide your stuff is too expensive and you're going to just go out and get what's on sale and get that. Like for us, we have all types of body wash. I don't just settle on one kind of body wash, right? I get what's on sale. And so then if you go into my preps, I have, hey, I have 1 of this kind. I have maybe 2 of this kind. I have some different stuff. Okay. Maybe it's the men's body wash that's on sale. Maybe it's the kid one, whatever. But that's how you do it. It's a 1-year stockpile. So you make your lists and then you just prioritize your lists, right? Which lists are the most important? And then you start knocking those things out, okay? As you can afford them, right? You're going to budget for that. This is a good one because you can budget just a certain amount. Like, hey, I have $100 a month to spend on preps and I have my 1-year stockpile and okay, I would like to buy something off of the medicine one this month and off the food one. And then you're combining it like that. This is really good to me too. If you're kind of already established, you've kind of already been prepping for a little bit, but you don't really have an organized plan of like, hey, this is my goal and this is what I'm trying to do. And you have it written out. This is to me a really good way of having a list and really visualizing. And then when you watch other videos or you see other things that people have or stuff, you just find the list, right? The title, and then you just add it to that list. Okay. So that you don't forget that item to get it later or whatever the case may be. Okay. I'm a huge fan of the 1-year stockpile. Some tips, hit sales. We've talked about this the other day. A lot of that the reason why it's my favorite is because I can easily pick something on it on sale and get that thing and then check it off. And then I don't worry about that thing ever again because I have it for a year, okay? Until you're going back around and doing your other stuff. Sorry, guys. Next thing is bulk, but smart bulk shopping, right? Be very, very careful with bulk, that you're not going to a bulk store and then buying all the other things. Be very, very precise of what you're going in to get, right? You know what you need, go in, get it, and get out. And then coupons, whatever it is you can do to get your said item. And what I said before is true with these 3 things, because the step up goals, the first goal was get 60 days. You can do that with the same thing. You get the lists, right? And you pull it out and you say, okay, how much do I have 6 months of stuff? Okay. And instead of shooting for a year, just write under the goal, okay, how, for 60 days, how much body wash do I need? I need at least 2 bottles. Okay. Do I have the 2 bottles? Knock it out. Spaghetti, I'm going to make it once a month. I need at least 2, jars of spaghetti sauce. I need 2 1-pounders of hamburger, and I need 1 package of spaghetti. We're only going to do half of a box. Whatever it is that for your family that you use these plans within these plans to help you, okay? If you are a list person, I'm telling you, the 1-year stockpile thing will work, and you can manipulate it to be hitting your other marks, like your 60 days or 6 months or whatever the case may be. It works even for more than a year. Let's say you have a year, or you have 2 years, you want to shoot for 5, whatever. It's the same thing, okay? And it works very, very well with sales, with buying with sales and couponing and that type of thing, okay? But these other ways are just to help you with ideas. The 2 week, a lot of people get paid every 2 weeks. A lot of people, they'll buy some sort of groceries for those 2 weeks. And, whatever you can double, and when I say double, maybe it's, okay, we overall have green beans 10 days out of the month. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's just say it's 10 of those. Okay. Well, if you're buying them flats and they're 50 cents a piece, hey, maybe it's the easiest to go ahead and just double that. Okay. And getting another flat, and then boom, you're done with green beans for the next 2 months. Okay. Think of it like that. Think about what doubling does, right? By what getting that extra can of something does. Hey, chili's on sale. Okay, what's all the things I use chili for? Okay, maybe chili dogs. Maybe we just have straight chili with some cornbread one night. Okay, how often are we actually having that in a month period? How many cans or whatever do we eat for our family? And then you go from there as far as, okay, now it's on sale, I'm going to buy such and such amount. Okay, that's going to get me through the next 6 months for chili, right? And then that thing is off. You don't have to worry about chili. That's how you do it. And it doesn't matter if you preserve food, canned food, it's the same thing. You could be like, okay, I'm going to make chili and I'm going to pressure can it today. How many jars do I need? What size jar feeds my family? How many, I'm going to get the ingredients to make it, and how many jars of chili can I get processed? Okay, how long will that chili last me and my family? And then boom, it's the same thing. It's off the list. Hey, I just made 7 months worth of chili, in one day. Very, very easy to do this, whether you're preserving, whether you're buying canned goods, whatever it is you're doing. I get really excited when we talk about food because I just think that it's an easy thing to do. I get it. You manipulate it for what you do, right? If you are on a fixed income and you only get paid once a month, it's no different than the 2 week person, right? You have your money that you've allocated for food for the month. Continue to do that. Okay. If you are the type that's like, listen, I have every penny allocated. I don't know how to do this. Just scale back your menu. Okay. Less ingredients type meals. Scale that back. Scale back how much the costs for each of your meals. If you can, because maybe you're already doing that, but if you can, that's my next suggestion, is scaling back so that you're able to use that extra bit of money for more food. And then that extra bit of money, you are literally doing your coupons and you're doing your sales and you're really concentrating. A lot of people do your menus, if you're fixed income, do your menus for the month off of what's on sale. Okay. Maybe you get paid once a month, but you allocate it out to where you have your money for food every week, right? Hit the weekly sales, see what's for sale, and then you get your meals for the week through the sales, which then allows you to maybe buy a few more cans of stuff, a few more boxes of pasta, that type of thing. And then I would be hitting food banks. If I'm you, right? If I'm on a fixed income and I'm very, very limited extra funds, then I'm hitting those food banks to supplement, okay? To get the fresh fruits and vegetables and supplement that stuff into to make my food last longer, okay? Super, super important. There's lots of stuff you can do. I know it's overwhelming, and I know a lot of people are just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. You can do it, right? There's one thing that is a fact. You can't do it if you don't try. You can't do it if you tell yourself you can't do it. If you keep telling yourself that you can't do this, you can't do it, you don't make enough money, blah, blah, it's too hard, then fine. But I promise you, you're going to be starving if you don't get a grip on the food situation and a solid plan for stockpiling food and trying to put some food up for you and your family. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And it's not to scare you, because any of these plans, anything you do is helpful. You know, if you've only been doing this a week and you start to put a couple cans up, that's a couple cans, baby, that you didn't have 2 weeks ago, or that you weren't thinking about 2 weeks ago. You weren't even thinking about the importance of food and putting food up. You just realizing now that, hey, it's important to put this food up for you and your family is a huge step, okay? And so now it's just about organizing, inventorying, and seeing, okay, which of these ways is going to be beneficial for you and your family, which one is going to work for your budget, for your income, all that good stuff. So I hope this was helpful. You know, I get a lot of questions of like, how do I do this? This is hard. And it is. But this is literally what I tell people, right? These are the 3 ways that I tell people to stockpile food, or ideas of ways to stockpile food. And like I said, you can use some of them together or use them by themselves, whatever floats your boat. Okay. So I will see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Blessings from my bear cave to yours. See ya.